I'm turning this vintage spice rack I found into a witch's ingredient rack for Halloween, and this is part 2. This next ingredient was an exercise in trusting the process because the entire time I was silently panicking about how it would turn out. I start by weighing out this 2-part tab of squishy silicone, and you'll see where I'm going with this in just a moment. I mix and pour a little bit into this half-sphere mold, and after that cured, I used some black acrylic paint to paint on the pupils. Here's where I tell you that I'm making eyeballs, specifically eyes of newt. Here I'm putting in some chunky glitter, and the iris layer was created using a mica pigment, as was the sclera. Did you know that's what the white part's called? So with the white, I poured the rest into the front half, and I also created an equal number of back halves. And while you watch that, let's talk a little bit about what Eye of Newt originally referred to. It was mustard seed. That's it. It's pretty boring if you ask me. Actually, I changed my mind. I studied herpetology in college, so I'm going to read this excerpt about newts in one of my field guides. Newts are not so slippery as most salamanders. Their skins are rougher and not slimy, and they do not slide easily through your fingers when you try to handle them. Natural food includes insects, leeches, worms, tiny mollusks and crustaceans, young amphibians, and frog eggs. Few predators will eat newts, for their skin gland secretions are toxic or at least irritating to mucous membranes. I had this vision of making the eyes floating in a sort of pickle goo, so I used a clear hair gel because I needed something inert that wouldn't degrade the silicone. I mixed in a little bit of green food coloring, and I layered in the goop while strategically placing the eyeballs. You'll notice that there's a label on the bottle, but I became more and more unhappy with it as time went on, so I completely redid it, because I suffer from crippling perfectionism. Anyway, I hope that you feel sufficiently educated about newts. My specific area of study, well, I went to college for herpetology, was actually North American tree frogs, but North America is actually home to 7 newt species, and they're all equally adorable. After I put the new label on, I realized that it all came together pretty nicely, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. What about you? What do you think?